Good morning. It is day 7. Yes, day 7. It means Friday. This is the last full day of hiking. One more night out in the wild. All of that. So, left camp at 7:20. Just before 5:30, I heard sticks and stones making some noise. And then my alarm went off, and I'm like, no way, man. It's dark at 5:30 right now. Remember, this is March, okay? This is not July or August, where it's sunny at 5:30. So, so I just laid there, relaxed. Probably fell asleep again. Got up, or I was good thinking about getting up. I'm like, I'm gonna make some warm coffee today. So I did. I mean, I have, it's 9 miles to the first water, and then if I want to, I can go forward another 3 miles or something like that, or 4. So I made my coffee. It was warm, super tasty. So last night was a very cold night. I actually grabbed my Sawyer out of my pack just in case it dropped to freezing or below. It didn't, but man, it felt cold. We were camping. Both of us were actually camping next to the water. Water is always the coldest place to camp. The ground's damper. In fact, it's the first time I can actually feel the coldness below me through the pad. Yeah. So I'm gonna need to do some stuff about that if I'm gonna keep the pad. Or I can go back to my air mattress. Anyways, it was a great camp spot. It was super wide open places to camp all over the place. Had a bad experience last night. I finally decided I gotta get up and go. So like 4 or 3:30 or something like that, I got up, and man, everything was spinning, and it's just laying on my back. I think it's laying on my back and then sitting up. It just bam, So I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta go. I gotta get out. So I got out of the tent. I'm like, my legs were so far apart, practically tripodish with 2 feet. So that was good. So then I came back to the tent, and to stabilize myself, I put my hand on the trekking pole on the top of the tent, and then somehow I have to turn around, right, get in the tent, kind of thing. Anyways, I lost it. Oh, my gosh, there's some ice right here. Yeah, good move to put the Sawyer in. So no wonder it's so cold. Anyways, this is taking a long time. So I started to fall into the middle of the tent. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not good, So I tried to kind of spin, which is what I do anytime I start to fall, just regardless, I try and spin just to roll with it. And the trekking pole, which is probably a good thing, actually started to collapse. So I went, down in the middle of the tent, where the guy line connects to the tent itself. There's a little plastic thing, and then it's like glued to this disc on the Dyneema. That thing snapped, and I just went bam right in the middle of the tent. It made a huge noise. I'm just like, oh no, So it's dark. I didn't go search for my headlamp. It was full moon. Anyway, so I tied the thing, the guy wire back onto where it connects to the Dyneema. Put the trekking pole back in there, shortened it just a tiny bit. I literally had to re-pound the stake in. It basically ripped the stake out. And then I wrapped the guy around, kind of tied it really good. And it worked. So I go back in my tent, super discouraged, really frustrated, because the rest of my body is working great. I mean, muscle-wise, hiking. I can't get any better at my age, I'm super thankful for that. So this is just this one thing that is just bugging the hell out of me. Really bothers me. So I went back in the tent, went back to sleep for a little bit. And then this morning, when I went to sit up to get my coffee, I'm like, man, it was happening again. So I said, it always happens when I sit up. So I laid down on my stomach, which actually feels really good, actually, from laying your back on my side. I just put my head down so it's flat, and then I felt way better. And then I slowly sat up, and everything was good. So lesson learned there. Whatever's in my ear settles in a weird spot when I'm on my back. When it's like more when I'm standing, when I'm face down, things somehow get readjusted. So besides that, it was a great night. And then in the morning, I made a mistake. The way I'd filter the water, I use a pouch, which is good and bad. Problem was, it was cold. And I needed to fill 2 liters of water. I drank at least a half a liter, if not more. And then by the time, 15 minutes to get a couple liters, do the whole deal. Because I got problems with that pouch. We'll talk about that later. My hands were just like ice cold. So then I had to come back and start pulling the stakes out of the ground with frozen fingers. So lesson is, if you gotta get your water for the next day, get it the night before. Because that's just a total time waster of prime hiking hours. And that's just not a good thing. Everything packed great in the pack. The food is super minimal, so there's no problem there. But it was cold. But I did want to hike in my leggings because I knew, if you look behind me, the sun is already up. So, and I put my warm puffy, I packed that and just put my frog tog on because again, it's gonna get warm here pretty quick. But it's still pretty chilly. Anyway, man, what a night, huh? And morning. This is not for the weak, man, I'm telling you. So, today, 9 miles of first water, so I have 2 liters. I'll stop in the middle, have breakfast. I'm gonna have my bread, honey, peanut butter, and butter. We'll see if it's all molded or not. That's why I waited this long. So, then I'll be really close to the trailhead where we get picked up. And then I'll decide if I want to hike a few more miles up to where there's water, and then I would camp up there and hike down tomorrow morning. Or, late morning. So that's it for day 7. Hike on and stay stoked. Well, I'm going down. I got a couple thousand feet to go down, and it's really hard. I slipped once. Everything's good. It's really hard. So this is where I'm going. Somewhere down here. If you look close, you'll see there's a highway. This looks like flat cement just above this little tree. You'll see. Anyway, that's the highway that I'm going to cross, and you can see there is a community down there if you look close. And then that's my pickup, and I'll hike up there somewhere. Hopefully spend the night. Even more bizarre though is if I go turn back up north, it might be hard to see with the sun. You'll see that there's Lake Roosevelt. So for me, it was kind of discouraging. It's like, why didn't I just hike straight here? It was so we could go to the Four Peaks. So, and that's part of Arizona. So it's like Signal Hill right there. So yeah, so a couple thousand to drop safely. Still haven't switched out any of my gear. So, oh, there I am. All right, doing all right, hanging in there. And I was thinking I was gonna get rid of that last video and not show it, but it's part of the whole thing, you know? I mean, it's not just about the miles. Everybody has different objectives. Kind of sad to feel that way sometimes. But when you get to the end of a hike, especially when you can see your destination, it's like I get these wild emotional swings, you know. You're super sad, but you're happy. You're asking yourself, you know, okay, so what's changed over the last week, like in yourself? Make a difference? How'd you do? You know, you just go through all these different questions, which are great questions, right? And you don't know the answers. You might not know the answers for days, weeks, years, but you always expect something. It's like a pilgrimage in a way, even though it's a section of a through hike, which definitely feels different than if you just do like a loop, like an out and back kind of thing. And your whole mentality is a through hike. It's just not as long. But it's really hard to explain. But anyway, that's what's going on in my head right now. All right, so we're coming up to some trail signage right here. Okay, Pigeon Springs, 11 miles, Highway 188.30. I wonder if that's where no, that's not where I started. That's further back than that. Boulder Creek Trail and Highway 87. Okay, 8 miles. So 8 miles to the highway. Yeah, water is a couple miles before that. That makes sense. So here's the marker. So I turn left. I'm really glad this is here. So we go like off a 4-wheel drive now, back onto real trail. So, all right. So to carry on a little bit more what I was talking about. I think what a lot of it is that when you're at the end of, for me, when I'm at the end of this hike, it brings up the end of the other through hikes, which would be the Tahoe Rim Trail, big sections of the PCT, the JMT in the big snow year a couple years ago, and the Colorado Trail. Each one of those are really different. And so I think about the end of those. I think that's what's getting me right now, is thinking about those, not just this one. All right, so it's just 8:40. Things aren't level in the back, are they? Anyways, I took off the frog togs and sunscreened up, put the sunglasses on, just put the cap on, just the full transition. It's about time for that. And I haven't drank anything since we started, so powered down. And I have some electrolytes in there too. So yeah, there's a lot of downhill. I can see the trail. I can see a water trough down there too, but it looks empty. I don't know if it's probably marked on the trail, but anyways, yeah, so pretty good morning. I feel really good right now. So my body's holding up really well. It's a nice breeze coming down the canyon right now. So yeah, looking forward to keep going. that sage right there. I'm down in the area of sage. There's lots of it. I'm not ready to pick it. Tomorrow if I see some, I'll grab a bunch of it. Well, I couldn't resist back there. Nice hike down. It's not so gnarly right now. In fact, there's actually water in this little stream right here. That's probably easily dry. I better check. Anyways, what I did was I couldn't resist all the sage. There's just tons of it. And it's dry too. So I just snapped off top 6 inches or whatever of just a bunch of them. Then fold it in half, and you can see it, put them in my pocket right here. I smell really good right now. So I'm gonna bring that home, and I'm gonna make some Arizona gin. It's gonna be tasty. So it's been a really nice hike. It's super quiet. It's super quiet right here. It's just no wind. There's just a slight breeze. You can't hear any cars. Yeah, it's just really nice when it's like that. Well, it's just time after 9:30. Figure I better have breakfast before it's getting to be lunchtime. So this is Boulder Creek. It's there's a lot of water in this thing right here. Really, it's just crystal clear too. It's really nice looking. A little tan, but it's really nice. So trail is just right above me. It's just a tiny bit. So I'm gonna have some of my super tasty, honey and bread and all that. That's my breakfast plan right here. So beautiful morning down here. Gosh, that water is just so inviting. But, bad news on the bread. So a little bit of mold, basically. So I just took off all the edges. I'll leave that for the varmints. So this is what I have left right here. So it looks pretty good. I don't see anything. I don't smell anything. It's pretty damp. So that's probably, I don't know, is that some of it? I don't know. Anyways, that's enough to put a bunch of butter on. And I can't eat all this butter. That's not going to be good for me. So, but I'll put peanut butter and honey on there as well. This is anticipation. There it is. Oh, so the rest of that. Oh, here's some more. All right, so I'm gonna roll that thing up like a taco. Super good. Well, that was a delightful breakfast place right there. Running water, clear, a little bit of green kind of tint, but it's not like gross. I mean, it's probably some of the nicest water I've actually seen. And for a creek like this, it's amazing. I think it's because of the rain, a lot of it, but you can hear it all along the trail here. It's really nice. So I forgot to do my check-in. Just as I was about to leave, I'm like, so, I stayed another 5 minutes, made sure to send in the check-in sent before I start hiking. So I have 4.2 miles to that Sycamore Creek. That's kind of I think my official last water until I get to where I'm going to camp. So that's about an hour and a half or something. So it's 9:30 now, 10, 11. So it'll put me there, around 11 or so, I would think, especially if the trail's like this. You know what? The trail split. I took the high road. I'm not sure, and I thought they would just converge right away, but they're not. So I need to pause and check the app. No, I'm on the trail. I think it's because there's I can tell, there's just some epic, flat areas you could camp down there, and there's water. So that's probably why, but still, that was a pretty evenly matched trail. So that was probably the most, you just couldn't tell which one was the real trail. Usually you can tell. All right, well, back in cactus area right here. The paddle cactuses all over. So Yeah, 4.2 miles, maybe an hour and a half, something like that. Then I'm gonna kind of reassess how I'm feeling and everything, because at that point, if I decide to go forward, I gotta recalculate how many miles that is. Probably like 9 or 10, maybe something like that. So I'll just take like 2 liters of water or something like that. I feel 2 liters is probably always a pretty safe thing to do around here. Six and Stones, he carries like a 1.5 liters wherever he goes, and then every time he hits a water source, he refills up to that 1.5 liters. But you know, he's been hiking for a couple weeks already, so maybe he's a little more used to this. But I'm not ready for that. So, all right, beautiful day. Stay stoked. All right, so check this out. This is like directly kind of across the little canyon. That looks, that's not natural. I don't know what that is. It looks like there's a flat spot in the back, so maybe somebody's gonna put a home on that. And just a little further, I'm hoping I'm pointing in the right spot. There's like a nice little grassy, not grass, but it's green area right there with that big tree. So, don't know. There's roads all around, dirt roads, so there's access. I don't know. Be a pretty sweet spot for a place, though. So here's kind of what it looks like around me right now. Pretty much in that typical wide open, you know, low level. I'm not sure what the elevation is yet. It's probably, no, I'm not even gonna guess. I don't know. I came from up there somewhere. Yeah. So we're back in the brutal heat desert area. Nice to see a crest every once in a while. Even though it's pretty faded, still says Arizona Trail. Because the trail split again just a little bit there, but this was clearly the more worn trail, and there were a couple cairns, whatever you call those, but they weren't really big ones. But it looked like that was a trail. It was right. The trail markers are super helpful like that. Not only the cairns helpful, but the official markers are super helpful. It just makes you more relaxed. Because who wants to go back, right? Who wants to go back? Thinking a lot about that today. This is the plant that really I watch out for the most, because it can grow right onto the trail. Look at that thing. The spines on those things are gnarly. Yeah. So they come in all sizes, and I talk to the gals about those, and I'm like, yeah. He says if you cut them, if you cut them back, they grow back even faster, unless you just really cut them down. And I said, why don't you just pull them out? They laughed. I don't know if they're like, yeah, I wish we could, or whatever, you know. But yeah, so they're all over right here. It's interesting. It looks like, you see the green on this one? I wonder if the greens, when they fall off, they become the thorns. Don't know. It's a welcome sight. Haven't seen one of these in a while. Just a reminder that I'm on the right path here, because the trails get a little confusing. I had to check multiple times. because when you get closer to a trailhead, you know, people are just mountain bike riding. They're doing just walk-in courses, everything. And so there's trails everywhere, so it's hard to be on the right trail. Definitely coyotes around here. In fact, I've seen coyote poop on the trail just about every day, but I haven't heard one single coyote at night, even though it's been pretty much full moon. So I don't know if they're just not where I'm camping in that area or what the deal is, but you can always tell when it's coyote poop. First sign is that it's actually on the trail. They must cruise on trails a lot. So, see, this looks like a cow or something, some animal kind of bed down right there, or that's just remnants of the storm blowing and raining and everything. So I've been hiking like this now for a while. What time is it now? Oh, just about 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, so it's probably going to be like this and still even some down until we get to that Sycamore Creek, it's called. And I should get there within a half hour, I would think. It's really a nice hike. I mean, the air is cool. The sun is brutal. I put another layer of sunscreen just on the back of my calves. My left calf is just like super red, but I got tons of sunscreen. So I'm thinking about next time I'm in the desert, I need to see if, what is it, Oregon Research? Yeah, that actually, that's where I have a sun hoodie I brought with me. I haven't worn it because it's like zero insulation and the air's been pretty cool, but it absolutely blocks out the sun and it's crazy light and no insulation. So they probably have some pants that are similar, and you wouldn't need to keep putting sunscreen on and all that. But if it's like the hoodie, there's no warmth, so you won't get hot. That would be pretty awesome. The question is, will it match my orange hoodie though? That's the question. Well, you don't see this every day on the trail. Shooting gallery, movie set with exploding cars. Don't know. I would like to know. Well, that's where I've come from, and I am now transitioning, at least for the time being, into some kind of canyon here. Don't know how long or how deep it's going to be. But you can see it dramatically changes here pretty quick. Well, the canyon's to my right. I kind of hiked out of it. It's not a super deep canyon, at least as far as I could tell. It kind of opened up, but I'm noticing it. The highway is like right there. You can see it's a little structure if you look close. But that looks like maybe some sycamores, huh? And I'm looking, my water's at Sycamore Creek. Interesting, huh? Oh, there's been quartz all over this trail. I think this hike is gonna be called my quartz hike because it's been throughout the entire trail. This is really pretty. It's not just your pure white, it's a little kind of mixed. It's just super nice. I mean, the pieces are almost kind of iridescent. Really, really beautiful. Well, I got a trail for a bit there, but it was still kind of a trail, and of course I got right back on the trail because I was so close. But here's the Sycamore Creek. And it's flowing down. I thought it was going to flow the other way. Huh. This is where it came from. So does this go underground somewhere? I don't know. But it's a serious creek here. A lot of water coming out from this thing, especially right down there. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I need to check out the water situation, how far I am away from things, and all that. It's 11:35, so I could have my lunch here. But I'm not sure where the next water is yet, though. Wow, that's really nice. looks like right up there it kind of drops off a little bit, which is always a good spot to get water. So, gosh, it's just almost like it's flooding. There's so much water. Well, it probably is because of all the rain. Wow. Once you get away from it, though, pretty quickly, see, there's a trail marker right there. All right, just had delightful lunch, cheese and crackers. Good sized piece of chocolate, 100%. No sugar, super bitter, super awesome. And of course I had a lot of Fritos, and I still have a lot of Fritos for tomorrow. So super good, watered up. I got 2 liters. I'm only gonna try and drink 1, and I add some of that green, whatever matcha juice stuff or whatever that stuff is to give me a little extra pick me up. But according to the GPS, I have like 4.6 miles to the Rock Spring, an encouraging name, but Rock Spring, which is where the water's supposed to be and where I'm going to camp tonight. So in between that, I'm going to hit the Sunflower kind of gated area where the trail crosses Highway 87, which I will get picked up tomorrow. So kind of right in the middle of that. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So it's hot. So I actually dipped my my orange hoodie in the water, put that on, feels really good. So I think I'm all set, ready to go this afternoon. And it's 12:30. So yeah, I should get there nice and early. Hopefully there's some good shade, epic camp spot, just kind of hang out and chill. And if I don't have to get to the camp or to the trailhead by noon tomorrow, like what I'm going to hang out at camp till like 10 o'clock. It's going to be really weird. So I don't know. We'll see what the little trailhead thing it looks like first. So, all right, hike on and stay stoked. So of course we're hiking up out of the canyon, even though the road is like down there right now. But what we came down was through that little, I think it was that little saddle right there. Either that or right here. But the creek, though, where we were at, was like right down there. And what's so bizarre, right, is the water's coming from the left and then going down this canyon. So this canyon must get super deep. Okay. The other thing that I didn't notice till I got up here, look at this little valley right here. So the stream is going through all of this too. At least, it may be underground right there, don't know. It goes all the way to the underpass right there. So what's, you can see it looks like it goes left to right here. But if you entered in from where I did, I was totally expecting it to go right to left, which means it must be really epic down in that canyon. Pretty cool. All right, hike on. All right, so this is the look, Highway 87. This is kind of what I see. This is real common. You come out to a road like this and you're thinking, how in the heck am I gonna get on the other side of this? Now, Sally said do not go on the other side. You're gonna come into like a lot kind of a thing, and then there'll be a gate. He says, don't go on the other side of the gate. And then somehow she'll see me. So I'm expecting to see some of that, but maybe I'll go through it to actually get to the other side, which I'm probably gonna have to get to the other side somehow. And then I don't know where the trail is gonna go from there. Who knows? Maybe I run across it. I just have no idea at this point. Yeah, it is kind of stressful for me. Yeah, kid you not. Good thing is I got the app, so it's gonna tell me exactly where to go. All right, so I've come, so you probably might recognize the top of that and those cars. So I come to a trailhead here, or sign. So it looks like I go to the left, and if you're coming from the left, you go where I came from. So it's like a confirmation. Boulder Creek Trail, Junction Road, straight ahead, road 4227 miles, or whatever that is. Let's see, Sunflower Trail, 344, Little Saddle Trail, 5.5. Okay, well, I go this way, and I'm not gonna check with the app. It's pretty clear to me. So I'll keep going this way for a while. Maybe we're gonna go over one of these little hills or something. Sometimes you know, the roadway, they do this, you don't go through the obvious. I think a lot of that's just for safety purposes. There may be like a little tunnel, there may be just one little gap in the road, you know, where's the like the sides, and that's where you go through. It's not just like this random spot or where you might think. Sometimes it's hidden a little bit. You see that a lot with the PCT, and it's actually a really good thing. It keeps the creepers away from the trail, which I'm all for that. The trail's getting marked really good as we go here too. There's piles of rocks. And it's very volcanic too. We kind of switch back to what we call volcanic rock. I guess it's kind of all volcanic, huh? Kind of back into that right now. It's pretty warm, but I'm still pretty cool because I dipped my hoodie in the water. Made a big difference. All right. It's interesting on that building right there. Notice there's a fire engine right there. I don't know if you see that. So that's kind of cool and what that's all about. Some nice solar panels. See what I mean? I bet you're going through this. Nobody would even know about this. Just driving around here. You! Woo, 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 woo. You! Chicka-cha! Chicka-cha! Woo! Woo! You! Check that out, huh? Is this creepy or what? You! All right, well, I got through the wash over there, and now I'm back on the trail, but I did not see what I should see to be picked up. So there's an alternate to get into like Sunflower, so I wonder if I should have took that. So I'm actually gonna call Sally right now if I get a hold of her. If I can't, then I'll text her and ask for some clarification to make sure. I suspect it's on the, because I thought she said it's on the other side of the freeway, which would be the south side. Oh well. All right, so here's the situation. I messaged Sally on my Garmin, so that way I'll be able to get a response back tonight from her. She'll probably check her email, which is where she gets that. I asked her, hey, specifically, is the pickup on the south side or the north side of 87? Because the main trail, there's no gate or anything. It just goes underneath, and I'm on the north side. But there is a cutoff, though, that goes into Sunflower, and I suspect that's where she wants to meet me. So I just want clarification on that. I mean, I can see it from where I'm at right now. So I got 107 emails, 17 text messages came flying in. Did not read those. I don't even want to know right now. So I double checked on the app far out, and I have 2.5 miles to get to the water, and that's where I'm going to camp. So it is now 1:36. So shoot, by 3 o'clock I should be there. So I'm hoping it's a great campsite. So I'm just going to chill, get some shade, and just enjoy the starting to smell the. Oh, I didn't tell you. So I was taking a little potty break next to a tree. Oh, there was no pit toilet. Oh, my body led me wrong. Usually if there's a pit toilet, your body knows it, and it just holds out. And it was, body led me astray here. Anyway, that's a whole nother side thing. But I was taking a little break by a juniper, and I noticed there were berries on it. I'm like, oh, I just can't resist. They were like ripe, you know. And so I put a bunch of berries in my pocket along with the sage. So looking forward to coming home in a week or so. Fast to work. I suspect these guys like it a lot hotter. Not a whole lot of activity on the surface. You know, I'm always curious about this kind of stuff. It's a pretty good sized line right there. It just goes up, and then I you know, maybe it just keeps going up. Oh yeah, way up there, I can see it. So, is there a tower up there? Does somebody have a place up there? Or is there a spring up there? Or are they pumping it down there? Maybe there's a spring down there. I don't know. But I want to know. It makes me nuts. I see pipes and things like that. I just like to know. How cool is this, huh? There's Arizona Trail right there. It says it right there as well. Read upside down. That's cool. Really? The same tube? Is it going the same place I'm going? That's just weird, man. Alright, so I came and just hiked down there. So can you see there's the tube. It's going right down to that tree. And I don't see it go any place there for sure beyond that. Okay, but if it does, if it's underground or something like that, there is a house just up here. I don't know, maybe that water comes to serve this little community right here. There's a house there. There's one like right behind those trees there. I've seen that one for a while. And there's a pretty sweet looking one right here with the fence around it. With solar panels. I don't know. This little lava bed is just full of life. Look at all the plants here. It looks like a different planet. This is different than anything I've seen yet. Man, the desert, you know, it's like, for me, like the desert, it's not like the desert beats you down, it just outlasts you. The other hikes they just pummel you just because of brute strength. This is more like, it's gonna outlast you. It's a different kind of feeling. Don't know how else to describe it yet. You won't, look at this. It's still here. And there's like a cutoff right here. So I wonder if these people, I don't know. Maybe if they want water, they hook up to it. Maybe that's the main line. Maybe there's another cutoff to it down there. Well, I just ran into a guy who works on the trail, probably 65 or so. He was, this is his section of the trail. So he was chopping down and pulling out and getting rid of those prickly, bushes I was talking about earlier. And so he knows everybody that I actually talked to on the trail. We must have talked for 15 minutes at least. So it was really good. He helped me understand a little bit better about where I'm probably going to meet Sally too. He told me about, where he parks and what you could do. So it was, I pulled out my phone and showed him, so go, where should I meet her, So he was super good. Great guy. Wow. Hey, check out the flowers. You see that? Look at that. There's a few of them here. Wow, there's coming up on the trail. Look at all this burn area. They have some of these pretty flowers coming up. Wow. Look at them. They're just scattered all along here on the trail. That's cool. I wonder if somebody planted some seeds or something. I don't know, it could be natural too. I mean, stuff comes back, So I'm trying to find some water here. They say it's, 150 feet past the gate. That's actually mismarked on the trail. So, but I hiked along here, and there's the pools right there. There's the water. So I got to get down there safely. I'm going to grab 2 liters. I'm going to leave my pack up here and then come back up. Wow. I'll leave a good comment so people can find this in the future. All right, well, I got the water, but I came down and this was just like mosquito larva heaven. I'm like, oh no. And I looked up here and it's actually moving a little bit and it's clear. But the question is like, yeah, I could have dipped in there if I had a bottle, but I don't have a bottle. I got this, so I just need a little bit of a slope. So what I did is literally stuck right there where it drops off. That's where I put the edge of the bag right there, and I got that bag about 3/4 of the way filled up, and that was enough, more than enough, to give me a nice clean liter. And the liter, that water looks really clean right here. It's not even discolored. But I don't know what it did to the filter. But I got to get back up, and it was tricky to get around some of this stuff because of those freaking sticker bushes. So I might actually go up here and then go across, because my pack's up there somewhere. Wow. This is probably the gnarliest water I've had to get. And I don't really have to get it because I got a whole nother liter of good water and about a half of the green stuff. But now I'm totally set for tomorrow if I'm sitting around waiting for Sally too, if I get there early. So, wow. It's all about the water. All right, well, the trail is just right up there, like, I don't know, 50 feet, can't see it. But I know this little spot right here below the junipers and next to the cactuses, but there's a nice little spot right here. It's really flat. There's no rocks. It's just on the top. I can clear that. I think there's room for my tent. And it's kind of shaded right now, and I have a nice little view of the Signal Hill there, and some of the desert type views. And I'm just a couple miles, less than 3 miles back to the trailhead. So that should be pretty good. I think I'm gonna give this a try. No, I changed my mind. It's a little narrow. Cactus is right next to me. I just didn't feel right. So I'm walking back up to the trail here. So hopefully I find something. It's not late. It's like 3:42. So I'm doing fine. I saw some great spots on the way here, so it's not a problem with that. I still have to evaluate the damage to my tent because I didn't take a close look at it tonight. But I think what I'm probably going to end up doing is I'll probably send it back to Z-Packs and just have them repair it, and then charge me whatever they charge me. Sometimes vendors they don't even charge it. They're just so cool about it. But I don't know. Anyways, yeah, we'll see how the tent selection site looks here coming up. All right, well, the trail gate is like right there. So we're just a little bit off the trail, which is nice. Kind of in the middle of these, junipers here. And here's the tent. The ground's really soft, so you got to pound those stakes all the way in, and we do not want a lot of wind tonight. So what happened to the tent, I basically tie this off right here, and that used to be the little thing that slides and tightens, so somehow this thing did not just rip apart. But anyway, so I'll call Z-Packs and say, hey man, this is what it looks like. I managed to tie that in the middle of the night. It's not too bad. What do you think I should do? Could you work on fix it? Whatever. We'll see what they have to say. But so this thing is hard tied right here. I can't loosen this thing. So everything is based on where that stands right now. So it looks pretty good. Really happy with it. So right now it's about 4:30. Boots hanging. So we're gonna basically get everything set up for camp and have an early dinner and kick back. I think we're gonna do dinner out here. The problem is though, is the wind is not good for the fire, heating stuff up. So we might do it in the grass, which isn't optimal either, unless we do it in the middle. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do about that yet. But look at this epic view we have right here for tonight. Nice. Last night for Craig on the Arizona Trail. Yeah, it's been burnt. It's still beautiful though. Look at that. A lot of unexplored, and somebody's got a cool house right there. Maybe they're looking at me, don't know. Well, good evening for day 7. Summary and reflection and all that kind of stuff. As you can see, I got my tent set up behind me. Kind of looks like an open plain, but I guess it is. But I'm surrounded by mountains right here, and the ones that the rest of the hikers are going for are probably something like that. Look pretty gnarly, and which brings me to one of the first things is I met a really great trail maintenance guy. He's basically in charge of this section that I'm hiking in right now, and he was asking about other parts of the trail, and I told him about the trail people I saw and how awesome they were, and you know, he knew all of them and all that kind of stuff. And he asked me, he said, so what do you think of the trail? Are you going to do the whole thing? And I said, you know, it's too early. I said, I need to think about it. I need to look at the videos, you know, the pictures, and it's got to settle a little bit because it's really different. I told him the whole thing about, you know, it's all about the water here. You know, it's not about the pass, not about getting down before the thunderstorms. It's about the water. And he can tell, he's like, yeah, you know. And I still told him, you know, it's the first time I've ever actually been in the desert for real. So it's a new experience, and it's tough, and I made some mistakes that hopefully I won't make again. But, you know, that's kind of the way it goes. So here's the stats for today. So I ended up going around 14 and a half miles. I went about a mile further, you know, to where I am now to get the water. Okay. Which was just like kind of weird. I wrote a paragraph in the Far Out app about the water, how to actually get to the water, you know, because it was really messed up on the app. And then I was looking for campsites, and so I ended up going back about a mile till I came to this one right here. So I don't know how many miles I have to get out. I haven't done the math on that, but it's probably just 3 miles or something like that. I don't know. It's no more than 5 for sure. So, but I don't think it's that for sure. So if I got to be there by 12, I want to be there by 11. And so I probably like at 9 to get me there by 10. Yeah. So anyways, so I'm going to burn the rest of my fuel. So I'm going to heat up my oatmeal. I'm going to heat up my coffee tomorrow. It's going to be actually a nice leisurely more. I'm sleeping in. That's the way I'm looking at it. So 14 and a half miles. I started at 5,500 feet, and it was cold last night. It should be a lot warmer tonight. I'm at 3,565 feet. So that's about a 1,200 foot drop. So today was mostly drops. There were some uphills, but it was mostly just downhill. And it wasn't crazy. Well, the beginning was a little crazier downhill. I think I did. Did I slip? I think I slipped once today. Yeah, it was. Oh, I hope those weren't mosquitoes. Last night, don't want a mosquito. I don't think it was. There's gnats. So, in terms of steps, I did 25,000 steps, which is pretty good. I didn't use trekking poles. On the flats, I use trekking poles because if I really want to move, I move with the trekking poles. I go faster. So, anyways, 25,000 steps, 3,000 calories. So that's pretty typical. What I've been doing. That's pretty good. Yeah, Richard was the guy who asked me about what I do the whole trail and all that. So one of the really cool things was I got not only sage, but I have some juniper berries too. So I don't talk about this much, but I actually buy neutral spirits and I make my own gin. I used to distill, but it's a lot of work. So so I look for sage and botanicals and things like that. So I was really stoked when one of the juniper trees had a bunch of berries on it. So we'll see. That's probably going to end up being super tasty. I'm looking forward to that. So in the morning, yeah, it was pretty an emotional start that because of last night, since I fell into my tent. That was really hard. Personally for me, because what does that mean for the rest of hiking? I think it's just an inner ear thing, but what's the deal? I think it also is the head back thing too. So but I'm learning about that, but that's not, yeah, that's a big deal. The other thing too is because I've done enough of these trips. When I come to the end of one of the trips, I start thinking about the end of the other trips and the things I really remember from those other trips, the highlights. And every single trip has something different. You know, I started with the Tahoe Rim Trail. We did all these have been with Gabrielle. Tahoe Rim Trail. We did Bougie. That's G Bougie Gabrielle. Same my daughter. One of my two daughters. Tahoe Rim Trail. We did a couple sections in the Oregon PCT on a couple trips. We've done the JMT during the snow year. You know, the Colorado Trail and all that. So I think about each of those. And, you know, when I think about those, I mean, it just makes you want to cry because they're all so precious, each one of them. And so that adds to the emotion. And I'm wondering what I'm going to remember from this trip as well, you know. So that's a lot of that is about, just the difference in the beauty of each trip. Yeah. So on a really good note, my food strategy of the bread and the honey and all that, I declare that a full-on success. Not only was it lighter, it actually saves money, and I don't have to deal with all the stinking bars all the time. Now, I messed up because in town I forgot, and I just got bars, and I could have got some candy bars too, which have made things a lot better. But I'm really happy that the bread actually lasted. I'm trying to figure out how long. See, this is the 7th day, but, you know, I packed up at least 2 days before, and the bread has been in the house for a couple days. So bread lasts a really, really long time, as long as, you know, and it's cold inside the pack. It's weird. It stays cool in there. Every time I open it up in the morning, even in breakfast and lunch, it's really cool inside the pack. So that, I don't know, maybe that helps. So, spent a lot of time talking to God today, and one of the things that was kind of highlighted to me is that, you know, I know some people who bring from chaos and mayhem and disorder. They bring, you know, creativity and beauty and order and peace, right? And so I've been thinking about that. I want to do more and more of that, and you can do that with any job. Right, any career, anything you do, you could do that if you actually want to. So I was thinking about that today too, which was a good thing. So I usually think about a lot of things like that, and as well as other things too. So I think those are really are those the highlights. Got some AI ideas, and, you know, but nobody cares about that but me. Yeah. So it was a good day. A frustrating day, hard day, good day. I think they all been like that. I mean, come on, you know. So the water thing is definitely a stressor. I don't want to be caught without water. So, you know, you pack your fears. That's why I carry 3 liters of water if I'm gonna dry camp, right? So. And 3 liters, you can go a long ways and a long time on 3 liters of water if you really have to. So anyways, but I've drank a lot of water today, and I'll be drinking a lot tomorrow too as well. So I think that's about it. Seems kind of short for the whole day, but sad to be at the end of the trail. I'm looking forward to what I'm doing next week at a conference. I'm speaking in the Salt Lake area. So I'm an IT guy. It's an IT conference. So, yeah, I'm excited about preparing for that. So, yeah, tomorrow, basically the trail ranger is going to pick me up. I haven't heard back from her yet. So that's still a little, you know, exactly how's that going to happen. I don't know yet. She's going to actually bring me to the hotel by the airport. And then Sunday, I'm going to take the flight to Salt Lake. So, yeah, then I'll be home Thursday, something like that. So, all right. So, into day 7 for Craig and the Arizona Trail. Time to sleep tight. It's time the whole night. Well, I just noticed I was about ready to get inside my tent, and I just noticed that it's probably going to get brighter, but this will be it for the night. Because I already turned my phone off once, but starting to get the colors on the mountains right now. So, it's looking really beautiful. All the way around. Whoop, Sorry. Kind of moving here so we can see it better. Now, desert night. It's really calm. The wind totally stopped. Hopefully it doesn't start blowing tonight. I'm kind of protected, but not that well protected. All right, so that's it. Day 7. Good night.